In this lesson, you'll learn how to use Android View animation capabilities. View animation offers a simpler approach than property animation for animating views. I think the best way to understand view animation is through an example, so let's get straight to it. In the API Demos worksheet, there's a secondary group of animation demos here inside the primary views group. And we're going to use the push demo in line 175, and it has the Java file name animation2. So let's start it up in the emulator by clicking Views, then Animation, and Push. Notice that the animation starts right away. We see this text up on top changing. As we click under Select an Animation, we get a drop-down list, and we can select Push Up, which is what it's doing right now. Push to the left. You see that changed the animation where the text is sliding off to the left. Crossfade, where one line fades into another. And hyperspace, which is a combination of stretching and turning. And now let's open the Java code in Eclipse. In the Views source folder, we'll open Animation 2. In line 33, we have a declaration of the Animation 2 class, which extends activity and implements the adapter view on item selected listener. And this is an interface definition that has a callback to be invoked when an item in this view has been selected. In lines 37 through 50, we have the onCreate method for the activity. In line 39, the setContentView method uses the Animation2 layout to initialize the screen, so let's open that. And let's expand this window to get a better view at our code. So in the layout, in lines 17 through 21, we have the declaration of a linear layout. In lines 23 through 27, a view flipper is defined. And this is a simple view animator that'll animate between two or more views that have been added to it. Only one child is shown at a time. Using the flip interval in line 27, it automatically flips between each child at a regular interval. The child views are down here in lines 28 through 51, and each one uses a different text string. So let's open the string resource file. We can take a look at those strings. So if I sort on them, and we look for the animation text strings, which are here, click on those. And if you look off to the right here in the value, you'll see the value change. Freedom is nothing else but a chance to be better. Albert Camus. So now back in the layout, in lines 54 through 59, we have the instructions text. Shows up here. And in lines 61 through 64, the spinner. Now back in the Java code, in lines 41 and 42, a view flipper variable is established and started flipping through the text strings we looked at in the strings resources. In lines 44 through 49, a spinner is set up. In line 46, the simple spinner item format for each item is specified, as is the array contents using the mstrings array defined below in lines 85 and 86. In lines 52 through 80, the onItemSelected method is defined, and this is the method that's called when an item in the spinner is selected as a result of the interface onItemSelectedListener. Based on the item selected by the app user, one of these cases is executed. Each case, for example, starting in line 55, for this case 0, sets the in and out animation in the flipper using the animation utility load animation. In line 57, let's look at the push up in animation. So we'll open that. It's here, push up in XML. In line 17, It uses the set element to define a group of characteristics. Line 18, the translation characteristics are defined. From Y, delta defines the change in the Y coordinate to apply to the start of the animation. To Y, delta defines the change in the Y coordinate to apply at the end of the animation. Duration defines the length of the animation in milliseconds, in this case 300 milliseconds, about a third of a second. In line 19, the alpha or transparency characteristics are defined. 1 is fully opaque and 0 is fully transparent. From alpha is the starting point, to alpha is the ending point, and the duration is the length in milliseconds, also 300. That's our lesson on view animations, and they're a relatively easy way to implement some good-looking visual gymnastics.